Hello everyone. Thank you so much to all the subscribers. You encourage me so much to keep working on the channel. I appreciate you all. Anyone watching this and not yet subscribed, please I ask you to do so. Thank you. Today we are in Uganda. Uganda's development can be described as a multifaceted transformation driven by significant infrastructure projects and economic growth. I have been discussing some of the highlights with a well-informed Ugandan. For instance, let us take a quick look at the roads and railway infrastructure. Uganda has made substantial investments in improving its road network and railway lines. These developments are crucial for enhancing connectivity and boosting trade within the country and with neighboring regions. How about electric buses? The introduction of electric buses marks a significant step towards sustainable urban transportation. This initiative not only reduces carbon emissions, but also promotes the use of clean energy. These buses are functional. I hope they make lots of them to cover the whole transportation network. It is important to realize the government is doing something useful to all. The current marvel of Uganda at the moment is operational Karuma Dam. The Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station is one of Uganda's largest infrastructure projects ever. The aim or purpose is to increase the country's electricity generation capacity, providing a reliable power supply to support industrial growth and improve the quality of life for Ugandans. I have been to Uganda a few times, and I know how to appreciate power that does not keep cutting off for hours. So that a huge boost for Uganda's citizens. Let us take a quick look at the economic growth. Uganda's economy has shown resilience and growth, driven by investments in the oil sector, agriculture, and private sector development. Real GDP growth is expected to accelerate, supported by these investments and improved infrastructure. Overall, Uganda's development journey is characterized by strategic investments in infrastructure and sustainable initiatives, positioning the country for continued growth and improved living standards. If you are still with me, let's go. Today we are talking every Karuma Dam. The dam is situated on the Victoria Nile at the former location of Karuma Falls. It is approximately 2.5 kilometers upstream of where the Masindi-Gulu highway crosses the Nile. By road, it is approximately 99 kilometers south of Gulu. The geographical coordinates of Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station. Location and accessibility. Karuma Hydropower Station is strategically situated on the Kyoga Nile, upstream of the River Nile, the longest river in the world. The station is approximately 5.5 kilometers from the downstream Masindi-Gulu highway, 75 kilometers from the northern city of Gulu, and 270 kilometers from the capital city Kampala. The dam site is located upstream of Lake Kyoga and Lake Victoria. The tailrace outfall is positioned within Murchison National Park, about 9 kilometers upstream of the Karuma Bridge. Let us take a look at the operational details. Karuma Hydropower Station commenced commercial operations on June 12, 2024, with an installed capacity of 600 megawatts. This capacity is generated by 6 vertical Francis turbine generator units, each with a capacity of 100 megawatts. The operation of the station emphasizes not only power generation, but also the safety of the dam, the surrounding population, the environment, and local wildlife. During the construction of the Karuma Hydroelectric Station, several corporate social responsibility initiatives and community development action plan projects were undertaken. These projects included school renovations and expansions, as well as the construction and expansions of health centers. These efforts have significantly improved the livelihoods of the communities involved. Here are some key interesting facts discovered during the construction of the Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station. Several archaeological discoveries were made, shedding light on the region's historical and cultural significance. Various ancient artifacts, including pottery shards, stone tools, and other cultural items were uncovered. These findings suggest that the area around Karuma Falls has been inhabited for centuries. The excavations revealed human remains, indicating that the site may have been used for burial purposes by ancient communities. Some rock art and carvings were discovered in the vicinity, providing insights into the artistic expressions and cultural practices of the early inhabitants. The discoveries impacted the construction because these discoveries necessitated careful excavation and documentation before construction could proceed. Archaeologists worked alongside construction teams to ensure that significant finds were preserved and studied. Efforts were made to document and preserve these archaeological finds. Some artifacts were relocated to museums and research institutions for further study and public display. These discoveries highlight the rich cultural heritage of the region and underscore the importance of balancing development with the preservation of historical sites. The construction began on December 16, 2013, and it was expected to be completed in 2024. Absolutely bang on schedule. The dam officially commenced commercial operations on June 12, 2024. The dam is a mass concrete structure with a height of 14 meters and a length of 314.43 meters. It features 6 vertical Francis turbine generator units, each with a capacity of 100 megawatts. There is no doubting Karuma Hydroelectric Power Station has offered Ugandans thousands of jobs. The dam provides a sustainable source of energy, reducing reliance on fossil fuels and lowering greenhouse gas emissions. By providing a stable electricity supply, the dam helps reduce the need for wood fuel, thereby conserving forests. The dam enhances energy security by providing a reliable and consistent power source, reducing power outages and stabilizing the grid. Surplus electricity can be exported to neighboring countries, generating additional revenue for Uganda. So far, a great achievement for the nation and its citizens.
As the Nile River cataracts through the rugged terrain of Uganda, a monumental structure rises. This is the Karuma Hydropower Dam, an engineering marvel that harnesses the untapped power of the Nile, promising a new era of energy for a nation on the rise. Years in the making, the Karuma Dam is not just a symbol of technological prowess, it is a beacon of hope for Uganda's future. But behind the concrete walls and turbines lies a story of ambition, challenge and transformation. The 600 megawatt Karuma Hydropower project is located on River Nile in Chinyandongo district, 110 kilometers downstream of Lake Kyoga and 270 kilometers from Kampala city. For decades, Uganda faced an energy crisis. Frequent power outages plagued the nation, stunting economic growth and definitely slowing growth of the national GDP. The need for a reliable power source became a national priority. Karuma, we have developed it with a partnership of the China Exim Bank through a concessional loan at about $1.2 billion and some equity from the government.
In the clean energies, Chinese companies has built several landmark projects, including Ishimba Hydropower Plant, as well as Karuma Hydropower Plant. Take Karuma Hydropower Plant as an example. This project was financed by Chinese financial institutions and built by Chinese companies. It was handed over not long ago to the Uganda site, and it has increased the built-in capacity of the electricity for Uganda by 50%.
The Karuma project is a road and bed cooperation between two governments. It was started 20 cities, disciples.
We started with excavation works, followed by structural concrete works, and then equipment installation and erection, and the last phase where we are now is the testing and commissioning phase.
Sino Hydro, a significant Chinese state-owned hydropower engineering and construction corporation that has been involved in several infrastructure projects, will pave the way for more renewable energy projects.
Sanhoji is international construction companies, and his main job is for the hydropower project, because we have other infrastructure and the solar project. This is a very huge companies. We started the business in Uganda 2009 for the Pujakari project. That time we are just doing construction of the electrical mechanical works.
The project created many job opportunities for the youth from all parts of the country.
At one point, this project was employing over 10,000 local staff, service providers, those who give us the food, those who provide the security, those who maintain. So it's something that we emphasize to the service providers that we should make a difference within the community, and one of them is to make sure that we give them jobs.
The state-of-the-art dam was meticulously designed with 6 major components, namely a dam section, power intake unit, powerhouse, transformer cavern, surge chamber, pressure shafts, cable shaft, and 2 tailrace tunnels for returning water circulating through the turbines back to the river.
The dams are meant to keep a certain level of water. So this spillway gates, in essence, control these levels. And so the 9 of them are currently operational. And on the extreme right of the river, we have the fish ladder.
Because during the studies which were done, it was discovered that there's some migratory fish which breed and spawn upstream. Okay, so when you put a barrier, you'll be affecting them. So you have to make a provision where they can be able to move upstream. So the fish ladder mimics the normal flow of the river without the dam wall. Okay, so the fish can feel it's the real river, they swim upstream and can spawn.
The project does not affect the flow of the Nile. The water used to run the turbines is later released into the underground water channel that connects back to River Nile 9 kilometers away.
As per this design, some of the water is diverted to pass underground, and 9 kilometers downstream, it goes back to the river.
To access the underground powerhouse, you drive through a 2.5 kilometers arc tunnel. It was built by blasting the Karuma mountain rock. The 12-meter wide and 9-meter tall tunnel is wide and high enough to support mobility of machinery in and out of the powerhouse.
So right now we are 100 meters underground from the surface, and this is where the powerhouse is situated. So because the configuration is an underground power plant, the powerhouse itself is underground.
This was in a bid to increase the head so that we could get a higher installed capacity from the same location using the same storage or volume of water, but with an increased head because it was initially conceptualized as a 200 megawatt plant.
When water is released from the reservoir to the intake, it falls through a penstock to the turbine. Each of the 6 installed turbine units is served by an independent intake inlet. From a head of 60 meters, each turbine unit requires at least a volume of 182,000 liters per second to rotate and generate 100 megawatts. From the transformer, the 400 kV power is sent to the gas insulated switchgear, GIS, a suitable, modern and high-end technology for its underground project.
If we had gone outdoor switchgear, what producing this transmission outside the layer, it could not fit here. So they introduced this technology. This technology minimizes the space.
From the GIS, the 400 kV power is sent out in 2 lines through a double bus system to enable flexibility to switch from one line to another in case one line went off. The power is then distributed through transmission lines including outgoing line 1 and 2 towards the National Transmission Control Center in Kawanda, Kampala, Lira substation, and to the Nebi substation that will supply reliable electricity to West Nile region that has never been on the national grid before. From 3 major substations, power cascades through the distribution network, reaching countless homes, businesses, and industrial parks.
We are now able to serve areas of Gulu better. Nowadays, the power is reliable. At one point, it was quite unreliable in the greater northern Uganda.
It is more than just a source of power. It is a catalyst for change, driving industrial growth, creating jobs, and improving the quality of life for millions of Ugandans.
The historical background of Karuma and the image of Karuma was not as normal now. Karuma was some few houses from that time, but right now, anyone can just come and be surprised how Karuma developed. From the village, change to the town council because the influx of the people were increased.
This project has been unique and still unique. It's the largest power station in the country. It is an underground station, the only of its kind in East Africa.
A 600 megawatt hydro project that would not only electrify Uganda, but also serve as a critical component for the East African power pool.
And that has brought immense benefit to Uganda. And Uganda has become an electricity storage for the East African countries. And it has the ability to export extra electricities.
You are in an advantage position because all our neighbors are not rich in sources of energy as we are as a country. We can trade in electrons.
We're already selling power to Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and we're working on transmission lines to South Sudan, but also to the DRC Congo. Therefore, it will be very important that we continue to grow our capacity so that we are trading efficiently with our neighbors and supporting them. When you look at a country like South Sudan, we are currently running generators, diesel generators, very expensive power from fossil fuels. So aligning with the green movement, aspects of climate change, when we enter this power trade, we're also offsetting enormous carbon emissions, not only in Uganda, but also in our neighboring countries.
Uganda is poised to become a leader in green energy, not just in Africa, but globally.
The vehicles, the buses are going to move into electric buses. We are going to have, even the train is going to be electric. So that means we need to increase the generation of power, the amount of power which we are producing.
From the roaring falls of Karuma to the humming turbines of the dam, this is more than just a story of water and power. It is a story of hope, resilience, and the boundless potential of a nation.
Yes, we have built capacity. We have very young engineers who are very good. They've learned a lot.
We've gained skills in design reviews, in contract management. We are now in a better position and more confident if we got another big project of this size to work on it.
I want to first take an opportunity thanks Nile River Limited because it has nurtured me into what I am currently. In the field of IT, basically at the moment, I can run my own IT firm from the experience I've gained from here because I've really interconnected the entire project, both underground and then on surface. Because of what I did, I was elevated from just a mere IT to a senior IT technician in the project.
They come from a different culture, and it's been quite a good experience to work with them. I've got an opportunity to visit some of their facilities in China. They employ young, energetic and vibrant part of the population. They are open to learning and also giving out information because they are really flexible and they are well moving high with the technology.
It is more than just a source of power. The Karuma Dam is a catalyst for change, driving industrial growth, creating jobs, and improving the quality of life for millions of Ugandans.
Vision 2040, we are supposed to have 52,000 megawatts. We are currently with the commissioning of Karuma at about 2,000 megawatts. And when you look at the demand, industrial development in this country, certainly will need to increase generation capacity.
Currently, the amount of kerosene which we are importing and using is going down because everybody is moving into clean energy. We want to move those who are cooking using firewood, using charcoal, let them come to use electricity for cooking. We want to focus on the children. I don't want any child actually to be reading using a can.
Electricity has the highest impact in reducing poverty. So that speaks to the significance of this project. The government's commitment to ensure socio-economic transformation of the country, but also critically the commitment we've made in the National Development Plan 3 to ensure clean energy access.
The completion of the Karuma Hydropower Station marks a significant milestone in Uganda's expedition towards energy independence and sustainable development. As the country journeys to grow domestic and foreign direct investment for sustainable industrialization, Karuma will play a pivotal role in supplying reliable electricity to over 25 industrial parks across the country. These will employ over 400,000 youth. Thanks to the China-Uganda cooperation, with Karuma on the national and regional grids, Uganda is destined for prosperity.